You can see the inks are just kind of pooling up, and then they'll dry where the alcohol is gone or evaporated. And I wanted to add some more blue, like I said. So I'll just put it on my brush. And then you can also use the little, I have a handheld puffer thingy, because there's a lot of different ways to move the ink around. I could just let it sit and do its own thing, or you can kind of manipulate it with this. You can manipulate it with the brush. So I put some stream in a palette, color stream, for the water. And I put a little of ISO on my brush. And so you can see how the ISO kind of reacts. See how it moves the ink? It repels, kind of. Excuse me. So I use a paper towel. And that helps me kind of see if it's see how much it's going to bleed. I have too much alcohol, too much ISO, I mean. Isopropyl alcohol in there. So I want to get a little more ink. And I want it to be pretty concentrated so it doesn't spread out too much, so I can control it a little bit more. I'm going to start in the middle because it's going to spread out. It really has a mind of its own. It's very unlike any other medium. Also, side note, when you put it in the palette, it dries like watercolors do, and you can just reconstitute it with the isopropyl. It almost gives like a watercolor effect, but super bright too. So as you can see, I'm just coloring this in really kind of roughly. It doesn't have to be perfect. Then I can just use more ISO to kind of make it fade off. I went ahead and did the green really quickly. You can see how the vellum wants to curl up a little bit from having liquid on here. I could use the brush to do the trees, but the Copic markers are just so much easier. So I have a little ISO on my brush. And if you get too much on, you can just blot it and then pull it back or get it off, kind of like watercolors. Anyway,